Yes, hello and welcome back to another video from Smarlax Music Productions. My name is Leighton. Today I'm just doing a continuation of a video that tutorial that I'm doing in mixing this intensity beat. I did a video earlier and I stopped at the guitars, and now I'm gonna be mixing the piano, Rhodes, organ, and the lead, right? Which I already started the piano and I'm on the Rhodes, but the thing is, I started the video and was way into the video explaining some very important things in mixing some do's and don'ts that you don't, you know, never want to do. And in the video my computer just shut down again, and all these Chinese scripts came up on the screen again, so I have to start over. But anyway, let's just go right ahead and hear what we have working with and what we have so far, and then we move on. All right, so I didn't play the system. Normally when I restart and reboot the system, I have to play a bit of it, so those glitches would go away, like you're seeing now. That's just crashing away. So let's just go again one more time. All right, so yeah, that's what we have now, just to refine and to just balance out things and thing. But the sounds are fairly treated and cleaned up. So yeah, all right. So I'm basically at the piano right now, and um, system shut down. So it's just the sounds are good already. I did tutorials back in the past, and you can search my channels. See what a dry session should sound like. Like I was saying, for a dry session should sound very, very clean and very good, right? Once you have your dry session is sounding good, which means that your sounds, that the choice of sounds are very important and work well with each other, right? So if you have a side stick that is not popping and it's not working in your session or your dry session, don't expect a miracle in the event of mixing, right? So make sure you have a good feeling of the sound that is there. I mean, remember, mixing enhances the whole thing, but the sound that is there should remain what it is in the first place of arranging, right? And in detail, right? So make sure your dry session is sounding very good, like it's already mixed. Like some sessions I would send to my friends and they would say, wow, nice mix, man, you know. And I would say to them, it's a dry session, nothing is processed as yet, and they would say, what, really? That's how your session should sound. All right, make sure your dry sessions are sounding good without any processing. All right, and once you have that, it's just minimal work in mixing. All right, so yeah. All right, so I have a piano here, which is a very good piano, um, from the Motif back then. It's very nice. My bad, I added some delay. Alright, so it's a dry sound coming from the not a dry sound coming from the Motif. It has reverb on it. I like the reverb for some reason on the pianos in the Motif. So I always use the reverb. Alright? And record it in here. So I wouldn't add any reverb on this piano because I like the reverb that's on it in the first instance. Alright, so now once you have your good sound, you treat it. Right? So you can hear the difference. Right? So it's cleaned up, more refined, right? Nothing, no over exaggeration of anything, just a nice small cut to cut out down in this region here. That's 328.5 to be exact. All right, with a little bell there, take it down, then I bump up down here to get a little bit of body. Here is where you find the sweetness of the piano, so I added a nice bell on it here. So yeah, so I just add a shelf for some air on the top here, and that's basically it. My compressor, I use it and you can hear it, it thickens up the sound itself, so it's a more richer sound on the piano. Let's just bypass again. Alright, just close to maybe 1.5 dB of compression. I don't like to over compress piano or to compress it too much, right? I like to gently compress the piano and not have it chunky and cranky. I just like to have it there, and as you can hear, it brings up the reverb some more on the piano, so it's gonna be right there in the mix. All right, so no need to add any more reverb on it. Right, so that's basically it. Right, so that's the piano right there, and then I go and show you I add the delay on it, and this delay is the H delay with a ping pong effect. All right, I just did some filtering on it. Right, so I put on the high pass and a little low pass to a certain degree, as you can see. All right, I didn't use the lo-fi on it. You can hear that the lo-fi would sound like. All right, the lo-fi kind of dampens the high frequency, or the whole frequency that is coming out, right, out of the mix. So I didn't bother to add the lo-fi because I like what I was hearing, and not only that, but this delays on quite a few other tracks. All right, so I just treat it that way. All right, so yeah, and that's basically it for the piano. One thing I was saying in the previous video that I was making is that we tend to have this issue of frequency build up later on when we are mixing and not using high pass filter on certain sounds and certain tracks. All right, like this, I just added this little filter here, and it's basically it's at what, 60, right? Right, I put it at 60. I roll off like 60 hertz, right? So just to be on the safe side, because later on, a lot of times when some of us are mixing, when we play the track, we hear a lot of frequency built up in the low end, right? And we are having problem containing the low end. So what do we do? And it is to go and put a EQ on the bus of that track, say on those that the track, right? And then we would start to put on a high pass frequency, or um, more commonly we go in and search for that frequency and dip it out. And that, to me, it works to an extent, but it has its advantages and more of a disadvantage, to me, because you're affecting some of the sounds that you don't want to filter out or to sweep out. And then you have this track with that sounds thin, this bus are group of tracks that sound thin, and you lost that body and width on the track, right? So a way how to get rid of that thing is just to be aware when you're working on the tracks that you don't need a low end or much low mid, to use a filter, low high pass filter, and set it and move. Even if you don't hear it or you're not conscious of it, to be safe, add a filter and leave it there, okay? Because when you solo the individual track, you're not hearing those low frequencies on the track. And why you're not hearing those low frequencies on the track is because it's a number of track that build it builds up over a while, over the process, and then they are combining, especially these tracks that you use delay and reverbs on, and especially when you don't filter the reverb and the delay, and they start to build up, and you're hearing it and you can't detect where it is. It's a combination of different tracks, right? Not one, not two or three tracks, but and maybe five, six upwards, and then you can't find that spot, and you tend to treat it from the bus. All right, so to be safe and to rid that problem, or not to have that problem to deal with later on, use a filter on the sounds that doesn't require any low end frequencies. All right, just filter it out. From then, just leave it, set it at a range where you know I'm not gonna need more than this and that, and just leave it there, and you won't have that problem. I guarantee you that. All right, so that's a very good point, I think. So this is how I EQ my Rhodes. I bump it up because I like to hear the Rhodes with body. That's a Rhodes without. All right, so I did the same. This is the same approach. Find your unwanted frequencies, like here, dip it. Use, I want somebody on this side. Use this bell and just boost it. Here you have a nice part on the Rhodes in the high mids. Then I put a shelf here to put this up right here. All right, I had made attempts to use this compressor on it, but it's a bit too slow, the release. So I went for this Eddie Kramer compressor, and was where the video crashed. All right, the computer crashed doing that video. All right, so let's put the quickest decay time there, and then let's go ahead and compress. All right, so it thickens up the Rhodes and bring it up a bit. All right, so it's gonna do its job there now. All right, I used this delay here. Let me exaggerate it so you guys can hear what it's doing. Delay one. Alright, come let's go again. Alright, so you can hear the effect of it. It's bouncing. It's bouncing, and that's what I like. So it's different from delay 2, and we're not hearing the same delay, so we have different movements on the track. Alright, so that's that. Alright, so you can see the whole thing. Alright, now let's move on to this organ. Alright, I'm using this EQ, that's this factory stock EQ, and just to save CPU power, right? Because it's not so harsh on the CPU, alright? So alright, you can hear that frequency has a lot of, even like some verb in it. Like I have a flangey. Alright, let's keep it here. I think here about a bit of attack on the organ. That's a tone you really want to hear. Alright, a bit of crunch on it here, and alright, let's just put the low free high pass filter there. Alright, so I think that's that with the organ. Let's go back for the Eddie Kramer. Alright, quick release. Let's put this output on 0. Alright, so you definitely need a quicker release on this organ based on what it's doing. Without the plugins in. Alright, so clean up the organ, and now it's fairly good, right? Alright, let's just throw a bit of plate on it and see if we can make the... Okay. Alright, so now we have a nice bit of resonance. Alright, so we have another organ here, which is sustaining. Alright, let's just drag this organ, this EQ over there, and alright, that sounds muddy. Let's get that frequency out. Alright, let's just add some ear in the organ right there. That's good. Right, we don't need so much body on the organ there, just to have that little grit on the organ. Alright, let's go back for the CLA and over here. Alright, soon as the compressor kicks in, you hear more grit on the organ. So it's just bringing up those little transients on the organ surface and just bring it to life. Alright, so yeah, that works well. And this compressor is not a problem because of what the organ is doing. The organ is basically sustaining. So the decay time on is not affecting it much. Alright. Let's add delay one. And use reverb. Alright, nice tail on it. Add some character to the organ, the pull off, alright? Alright, so that delay works well. Alright, so you know the delay that you're using, the time that you have set on the delay. Alright, quarter note, 16, 1/8, however you want to set it. You set different delays and you know what each of them does. So you would use your experience over time to know what which one you want to use on your organ, your piano, guitar, whatever, vocals, whatever, over time. Alright, let's just go for the final sound, which is my lead sound, a lead hook. Alright, you see this, I know exactly where the sweetness is on this sound. It's to have a husky sound. This lead, it's not on the top end, it's not on the bottom, and it's right in the middle where most sounds would accumulate a lot of mud and noise. This is where this sine lead vibe is nice. You can listen to it. I find this is where I like it. This is where it's very interesting to me. We're in that husky tone with this sine lead, or any sound of this sort. That's where I like it. Alright, let's do that right there just to be on the safe sides. Alright, and go back again and add our filter here. right, so yeah, and add some nice presence in it there. Okay, so let me just use this EQ'd this band here and just pull down here so we're not having a lot of overlap on those frequencies. All right, that's that. And then I would go again. All right, sometimes I don't even compress these sounds, but let's just put that one and see. Actually, it really enhance it. So, yeah, let's do that. All right, as you can hear, what delay one does, what it did in the on the first when we use it on the organ, we would definitely would show it on this track as well. Right, you can hear crazy delay effect happening. All right, and the I set the sound. There's another ping pong effect in on that sound in the keyboard. I kept it. What I did was um dial in the tempo of the session in the keyboard so the delay would work with it, because some of those delays are killer delays in the sound, and you would have to go and work and set up a particular delay to re-achieve that delay on the sound itself that the manufacturer added or the sound designer added. So you want to dial in your tempo of your sessions in the keyboard so you get those effects. If you don't, and you want that same effect on the sound when your inspiration kicking and that's a sound you really use and highlighted, you are gonna have to go in and write automation or find a specific plugin to add to it, and you're gonna be out of CPU power and overload. So if you can bring that delay effect or reverb in the DAW, it's best. All right. In other cases, sometimes you don't get that effect that you want from the workstation. So what you would do is kill the effect on the workstation, and then you do find that particular sound that you're looking for or effect in the DAW when you record it. All right. So yeah. So that's good already, and I'm still adding this delay on this, right? And it's doing the same thing, right? So the delay is basically the same thing, but it just brings it up more, right? So this delay is set in the same way as the workstation. That's delay one, and this is the dynamic EQ that I'm using. I'm using a stereo delay effect here. All right, and you can see the rest of whatever. Okay, so that's that. So yeah, I'm not gonna add any reverb on this. Right? All right, so yeah, that's it. Basically, straight up mix. All right, very simple. Don't overthink it. Like I said in the first video, don't overthink it. You have your sounds, you arrange your music, you put it in, and do the hardest part about this mixing thing is the vocals, because sometimes you have vocals that are just not recorded cleanly, all right, and not great vocal take and whatever, and you have to be tuning and doing filtering and gain staging and different parts of the vocal and all. Those are the issues with mixing, or should cause the more work and time and the mixing. But when it comes to the instruments, man, do not record it. Do not record it if it's not well balanced, if it's not a good sound coming in the first place. All right. So if the sound is not good in the first place, all right, work on the sound before you record it. All right. So that's what you have to do to get a good dry session to start working with. All right. And get what you desire. All right. So that's basically it for the mixing. It's very straight up, very simple, and yeah, that's it for today. And hope you guys enjoy this video. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and if you enjoy the video and you learn something from the video, do what I always do. All right, it only take a second to hit that like button. That like button really encourage us YouTubers, right, to do more, and it says that you guys enjoy this content. So me and myself thinking, okay, why not make more? All right, so don't just watch the video and move on. Hit that like button, right? Share if you know your family members or friends are into music, especially the reggae genre, and let them see and learn, right? You know, you never know what can happen. All right, so thanks for watching, and enough respect again. I'm out of here.